Okay. Welcome everybody to Chassidus in the morning, 15 minutes to change our lives. Vaera. Okay, now we're going to get into it. So basically we're discussing how Yitzias Mitzrayim physically, like the Yidden leaving Mitzrayim, also applies to us spiritually. And today we're going to get into the meat and bones of the spiritual aspect of Yitzias Mitzrayim and what it means for us. So we said that the Yidden was suffering so badly, and we went to great detail about how bad it was and how hard it was for them. They weren't able to listen to Moshe and Vaera. It was just such a tough situation that they weren't able to be there. They weren't able to even hear the good news. And like we were talking about how sometimes in life we're so distraught or life gets so hard in our minds that we can't even hear anything good. And then we said, so how did the Yidden get out of Mitzrayim? What happened? What was the way to break this klippa? It was through the Makkos, and the first Makkah of Dam. Now we need to understand what does it mean Makkah of Dam spiritually, that the water turned to blood. We started talking about yesterday. The water is wet and it's cold. Cold is curious, it's coldness, apathy, as we're going to discuss today. So that's what we're discussing. That we have to look in our lives how to get out of our Mitzrayim and the place of Kedusha. And we also have Mitzrayim of Lumadza, Mitzrayim of Klippa, of negativity, of negative forces against Torah mitzvahs, and we have Mitzrayim of Kedusha, even in holy things, but we limit ourselves. Al-pi seichel, according to our intellect and our reasoning and what we think we're limited to. And we limit ourselves that way. Yeah. So now, hey. I tell my Gisha is the sug of Mayim Shevahem Hoisa Maka, Amayim Michel Vaera. The Torah talks about the water. What does the Torah say? It's the waters in Vaera, in the river. Mitzrayim, Mitzuyim, Shnei Sugei Kurios. There's two types of coldness. There's Kurios, Adishus, which is apathy. Linyane Eilam Hazer, to physical things. Sheba Mitzah Kedusha, which is a holy, coming from holiness, meaning that I don't care about physicality. You know, it doesn't bother me. I don't, like they say about Remember Putifas, that when he would, I think it was when he was in some 70, he would take his egg, or maybe it was his cake and his egg, whatever, and his coffee, and put everything into the coffee, and he would drink it. He didn't care. So that's one apathy to Gashmas, which is a very good thing. Kriya is Binyane Kedusha. And the second one is the coldness in ideas of Kedusha. Shehi haschalas kol haklippa. And this is the beginning of all klippa. As we explained before, coldness in Judaism. That is the biggest problem. As the famous story, we said it before, that Wagner from UCLA, I think that's where he's a shliach. He said that the biggest challenge that you have is when someone is apathetic. Because he had a girl come to his class. She's now back then when he said it, she's like the president of his like the president for the students president. And she explained, and so if the whole story goes, that basically she came to a shiur because she was against him because he's religious, and we have to be against the religious people, and they're very backwards and effeminate and sexist. And so she wanted to argue with him and everything. And ended up finding out that she actually agreed with him on a lot of the points. And they discussed it, they worked it out, and she joined. She became, I don't know if she's from, I don't know what happened there, but she became connected. And he said, it only works when you have that fire. When apathetic, you say, I don't care, there's no one to work with. You need to push someone's buttons, so they push back. They don't push back. They're just like, oh, whatever, I don't care. Then there's no one to work with. So that's a klippa. That's one. That's another issue. That's the second issue. And in relation to this, there's two types of water. You have water above milamayla. Water comes from above, like rain. Lamata hashamayim, tishta mayim. That the Jew of the heavens will like pour water. And Kriyas Kedusha, which is like from Kedusha, the coldness in Kedusha. And then you have Mayim, Shemitachas Haaretz, the water that's below the world, Kvirus a klippa, which is the coldness of klippa. So me'anilus. So now, what is this water of the river, of the Nile River that's Aaron hit and made it turn to blood? Shayachim l'suga sheni. It's connected to that second level, the mayim that's from below, which is the coldness, the apathy. That's why it says by the water of the Nilus, it goes up to Kolim. That's what it says about the Nile. Why? Because the source of it is from the waters from below. So he's saying it's from the depth, it's from this deep level, but it's a level of klippa, of coldness, of apathy, to even in klippa. So this coldness and this apathy to holiness, this was the avodah zara mitzrayim. Mehem hispachtu kol harois shel mitzrayim, and this came the source of all the problems, all the bad in Mitzrayim, because they bowed down to this river, and this river is coming from the depth, and the depth of the apathy and coldness towards Yiddishkeit. Mishum kach. Therefore, the breaking of the power of the beauty of the strength of Mitzrayim started off. First place, it went to the source, went to the river. That was the avodah zara. That was the source of the problems. Let's go tap into that source and let's destroy that. Inyan krios, which is what is the issue? Coldness. Meaning like this. When we get cold can express itself in a lot of ways. It can be cold. Now we say, it's not for me. I had a story I wanted to tell you. So basically, when I left yeshiva many years ago, before, not like when I went back home before while I was still single. So I took an achlata. I'm going to make sure. I wanted to stay frum and chassidish and all these funny words. So I said, I'm going to make sure to keep strong. I'll daven, I'll learn, I'll wear a hat and jacket, do all the right things. And I didn't appreciate Chassidus as I do now. And basically what happened was, I had a friend. I said, come, let's go. There's going to be this Vaera in Yeshiva. Let's go to the Yeshiva, go to the Vaera. So he goes to me, what? Why do I don't want to go. He wasn't fry. He wasn't into it. So, yeah, whatever. So I said, what do you mean? Come on. It's like free alcohol, free food. Let's just go. It's easy. For me, it was such an obvious sell. What's the problem? Why wouldn't you go? And if I convinced him, we went, whatever it was. Then a few months later, came in out of Vaera, now Chassidish Yom Tov. After it could have been even Chav Dal Tevis, I wonder. And I was like, I should go to the Vaera. And I'm like, I'm not in the mood. So I said to myself the same thing I said to him. I said, what do you mean? It's free food and free mashka. It's easy. And I was like, no, I'm not in the mood. I don't really care. And I remember that shook me up. I was like, whoa, look where I've come. But this is the curse. You're called apathetic. Whatever, I don't care. And also B'chal, the curse is also with ourselves. It's like the famous, whatever, with ourselves, that we don't acknowledge ourselves and our importance. I'm like, whatever. Who cares? I don't daven. Okay. So I didn't watch Nagavas. Okay. Who cares? It's a big deal. It's a problem. It's giving up on ourselves. It's very important that we don't get cold. Well, we don't give up on ourselves. We hold ourselves to a standard. We say, what do you mean? I'm worth more than this. I'm more valuable. A lot of this Mitzrayim is this negative talk that we also say to ourselves, I'm not going to amount to anything. I'm not going to find a shidduch. I'm not going to have a good job. I'm not going to have a good life. And unfortunately, a lot of us do this. And also a lot of us get it from a young age, whether it's at home or in school or friends or whatever it is, chas v'shalom. It's unfortunate. We're going to get out of this curious and this and these types of Mitzrayim and not get caught up in that. Finish one more ice. So what happens? We transform it. The iron transforms the water, this coldness, this curious, to dam, to blood. What's blood? Dam hu chiyonis. Blood is life. Ki hadam hu nefesh. Like it says, the blood is the soul. So from the place of coldness, we transform into heat and life. That from the forest itself comes the handle for the axe. Meaning, from the water itself that's negative, we transform into the water itself gets transformed. Kach Yuva, and so too will be understood. Gam Madua Nema Betchilas in the beginning Shamayim Nefchul Adam Hayabasha. It says that the water was transformed to blood by Abasha with its dryness, in its dryness. So, what does this mean in its dryness? What does that mean? In the Yabash and dry, there's not even wetness. There's nothing there. Hadvekus, which means cleaving, which is in some connection, nothing. So what we're saying is that this transformation happened not just in the water, in the apathy, in the negativity, was transformed, but even in the dryness, even the place doesn't even have anything, has no water, is the source of all things that grow, had nothing. It was totally the worst levels of apathy. That was transformed. And so what we're saying is we have to realize when we're apathetic, when we're cold, and we don't care, or negative talk that we say to ourselves, we have to add blood to it. What's blood? Ki adamu hanefesh is the soul, life, warmth, chamimus, chayos. We have to add life. We say, no, I'm worthy. And it could be an affirmation every morning. We wake up and we say to ourselves, we have, write itself a list of things you say to yourself every morning. I'm good. Hashem created me. Think about the brachas. You don't have to even write the affirmation. Just think about the brachas. We should all do this. And think about our brachas that we say. Hashem has faith in me that I'm going to be successful. Hashem believes in me. He creates me because he has a mission for me to do that only I can do. That no one else can do this. And this is the talk we have to say to ourselves. When we wake up in the morning and we say, and we daven, and we give ourselves a chance to learn, or we speak to people, and we infuse ourselves with this type of enthusiasm, and this transformed. This is what happened in Mitzrayim. To have to help the Yidden go out of Golus, and this is what's going to help us get out of Golus. Mitzvah Hashem, we should get out of the Golus, and we should have Geula. Take of Miyad Mamish.